In today's video, which is part 2, I'm going to give you more harsh truths about job interviews from a recruiter. Let's go. One of the most frustrating things as a candidate I have to imagine is losing out on a job opportunity you were a great fit for. But it happens because applicant tracking systems, or ATSs, and recruiters don't always understand some of the technical nuances of your resume. So there are things in there that make you qualified, applicable, but they might not have the depth of understanding to fully grasp how good of a fit you are. And machines, they're not always going to get it either. So the computer, the applicant tracking system, might assign you a score that's lower than you actually deserve based on your background. But that is harsh truth number 1 of this video, is that sometimes, even though you were qualified, you will get ruled out because people don't understand how good of a fit you are. Another unfortunate harsh truth about the recruiting process and the interview process is that you may interview and you may do great. And a lot of people think, oh, well, this is amazing. I had a great interview. They're gonna call me like tomorrow or the next day, or they're gonna email me, and then they go silent. And this doesn't even mean that they're not interested in you. Sometimes they just have a bad process. They get distracted. Other priorities come up. And because of that, even though you were a fantastic candidate, you end up waiting. This is another harsh truth and a harsh reality about job interviews. One of the things I have emphasized to candidates is that you want to set up job alerts on LinkedIn. It is incredibly important because sometimes, harsh truth number 3 here, is that applying late to a role can be as bad as not applying at all. If you apply to a job and they've already got 30, 40 applicants, they may never even look at your resume. They're going to look at the first couple of people, and if in the first 10 they find 3 qualified applicants, it's not even guaranteed they make it to 30. They might not even make it to 25. So applying late to a role, even if you might be the best candidate in the world and you just happen to see it for the first time then, might be just as bad as never applying. Another harsh truth about the hiring process and the interviewing process from a recruiter's perspective is often candidates who are great are going to pay for the sins of a past employee. For example, sometimes employees have a side hustle or they have a side business, and because of that, or even not because of that, they don't do great at the role and the company ends up moving on from them. Well, what happens at that point? Well, that hiring manager who has now removed someone from their team, in their mind now has a bias against people who have side hustles. So if you interview with that hiring manager and you're a great fit for the role and you are a top performer, you may be overlooked now simply because you have a side hustle. Just because they have a bad experience, they're projecting onto you that it might be a future problem and they're going to skip you even though you may be a great candidate. The next harsh truth and harsh reality about the interview process from a recruiter's perspective is that a lot of you who are watching this are probably in the middle of interviewing, and a lot of you, ultimately, most of you, all of you, will get a job offer at some point. When you get that job offer and you go to quit and tell your boss, I give my 2 weeks notice, more than 50% of you are going to get a counteroffer. After that, 50% of you, or even a little bit higher than 50% of you, are going to accept that counteroffer. And of those 50% of you who accept that counteroffer, 90% of you will not be at the company you accepted the counteroffer with within 12 months. Did that blow your mind? Well, I want you to watch this video here because this video has 7 different shocking stats on counteroffers. Believe me, I gave you just a few quick ones, but if you want to go more in depth and find out the absolutely horrifying statistics that are centered around counteroffers, you got to go watch this video next. It's waiting for you.